Space Intelligence Briefing. This is what we actually know. 1.2 million people watched a video claiming James Webb found something about Pluto 7 minutes ago. The research it's talking about is over a year old. We're not here to call anyone a liar. We're here to trace every claim back to where it actually came from. And by the end, one detail in that video is going to surprise you more than the headline does. Quick reality check first. Webb doesn't fly past planets and snap photos the way NASA's New Horizons did in 2015. It sits nearly 1 million miles from Earth and reads light itself, breaking it into wavelengths to figure out what a distant world is made of. To understand why any of this matters, it helps to know how little we actually knew about Pluto for most of the last century. It was discovered in 1930 by a 24-year-old assistant named Clyde Tombaugh, comparing photographic plates of the night sky night after night until he spotted a single point of light that had shifted position. For decades after that, even the largest telescopes on Earth could only resolve Pluto as a tiny, blurry smudge. In 2006, the International Astronomical Union voted to reclassify it as a dwarf planet, stripping it of the title that had made it famous. Then, in July 2015, NASA's New Horizons spacecraft flew past Pluto at more than 30,000 miles an hour, after a 9.5-year journey across billions of miles of space. It had exactly one shot, no orbit, no second pass. What it sent back rewired what scientists thought they knew. A massive, pale, heart-shaped plain, mountains of water ice rising more than 10,000 feet into a hazy sky, and layers of blue haze stretching hundreds of miles above the surface. Pluto didn't look like a dead chunk of frozen rock. It looked like a world still doing something. That's why scientists have been chasing its atmosphere ever since, and why a channel called Proof built a video around it that's now sitting at 1.2 million views. Here's where the gap starts. In 2017, planetary scientist Zhang at UC Santa Cruz proposed something that sounded backwards. Pluto's haze doesn't warm the planet the way haze does on Titan. It cools it, acting less like a blanket and more like a radiator, absorbing sunlight and radiating it straight back out as infrared heat, faster than Pluto's thin atmosphere could ever hold onto it. Nobody could test it. No instrument existed that was sensitive enough. Then Webb launched in December 2021, and by 2022, it could finally separate Pluto's faint signal from its much larger neighbor, Charon, something earlier telescopes could never cleanly do, because the two worlds sit so close together in Webb's field of view. October 2024, a team led by Silvia Protopapa at the Southwest Research Institute confirms carbon dioxide and hydrogen peroxide frozen onto Charon's surface, never detected there before. June 2, 2025, a team led by Tanguy Bertrand at the Paris Observatory publishes in Nature Astronomy. Zhang's 8-year-old hypothesis is confirmed. Pluto's upper atmosphere really is being actively cooled by its own haze, roughly 30 degrees Fahrenheit colder than earlier models expected. To put that cold in perspective, surface temperatures on Pluto generally sit somewhere between minus 387 and minus 369 degrees Fahrenheit, more than 250 degrees colder than the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth. There's a second piece tied to that same haze. Even the faint trickle of sunlight that reaches Pluto is enough to break apart methane molecules high in its atmosphere. Those fragments recombine into heavier compounds called tholins, which drift down and settle onto the surface, a process that's apparently been running for roughly 4 billion years. And some of that methane doesn't stay on Pluto at all. It drifts about 12,000 miles across space, gets captured by Charon's gravity, and freezes onto Charon's pole, a region that spends multiple decades in complete darkness at a time. When sunlight finally returns, radiation breaks that frozen methane apart and reassembles it into the same reddish-brown compounds that color Pluto itself. That's the same coloring Protopapa's team was studying when they confirmed the carbon dioxide and hydrogen peroxide in October 2024. That's more than a year before Proof uploaded a video calling this 7 minutes ago. Let's go claim by claim. 7 minutes ago. The atmosphere cooling result is from June 2025. The Charon chemistry result is from October 2024. Neither happened minutes before this video went live in July 2026. For the first time. Webb has been observing Pluto since 2022. Not a first. Shouldn't be possible. We pulled the full transcript. The word impossible appears exactly once in the entire video. In the title. What actually happened is a 2017 hypothesis getting confirmed faster than expected. Zhang himself called that unusually fast for planetary science. Fast is not impossible. Now here's the one that stopped us. Throughout the video, the narrator credits this entire discovery, the haze, the cooling, all of it, to a scientist named Zhang. That's not his name. His name is Zhang, professor of Earth and Planetary Sciences, UC Santa Cruz. The man whose 2017 idea this whole video is built around got his name wrong on camera in a video that's been watched 1.2 million times. Everything else in the body of that video, the mechanism, the 30-degree number, the Charon chemistry, checks out. The title oversold it. And somewhere in the script, the one name that mattered most got swapped for a different one entirely. For comparison, a channel called Planetary Report covered the same research under the title, NASA confirmed James Webb just found something new on Pluto. No fake urgency, no impossible. It still reached 116,000 views. A video's body can be accurate, and its title can still be built to mislead. Those are two different failures, and they deserve two different verdicts, not one blanket judgment. There's a bigger reason this particular finding matters, beyond just correcting a headline. Some of the same cracks and ridges scientists point to when discussing Pluto's geology fit a pattern you'd expect from a subsurface layer of liquid water shifting beneath the crust. The possibility of a hidden ocean, roughly 100 miles under the surface, kept liquid by the slow radioactive decay of elements in Pluto's core. To be clear, that is not confirmed. There's no photograph of it, no direct measurement. It's an inference from surface patterns and gravity data, and researchers themselves describe it as a possibility, not a fact. But if a world this small and this cold is hiding something like that, it raises a real question about how common buried oceans might be among icy worlds we've barely looked at. And there are a lot of those worlds. Pluto sits inside the Kuiper Belt, a region beyond Neptune's orbit, estimated to hold hundreds of thousands of objects wider than 60 miles, plus 1 trillion or more comets, an area of space hundreds of times larger than the asteroid belt most people picture when they think of space rocks. Only one spacecraft, New Horizons, has ever gotten close enough to photograph any of it in detail, and even that mission only managed close flybys of 2 objects out of everything believed to be out there. There's currently no funded mission planning to send anything back to Pluto. The trip alone would take the better part of a decade, and outer solar system exploration has rarely been treated as a funding priority compared to missions that can return results in just a few years. For now, Webb is the only tool we have, quietly checking back in on Pluto every few months. And there's something almost too fitting about how the video we checked today ends. In its own closing lines, it tells you it offers stories grounded in real, published research rather than exaggerated headlines. That line comes right after a title that used the word impossible and got a scientist's name wrong. The content earned that closing line. The title, and one crucial detail inside it, didn't. This isn't a verdict on the whole channel. It's what we found in this one video, on this one topic. That's the only claim we're making. Here's the verdict. The Pluto findings are real. The urgency is fabricated. And somewhere between research and script, Zhang became Zhang. A small error sitting inside a very large number of views. We've already started pulling the numbers on another video from this same corner of the niche. This one about Voyager, sitting even higher than this one did. Same pattern? Or something different? That's next. This has been Space Intelligence Briefing. Confirmed or not, you'll always know which is which.